Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, y'all. They found Tupac's killer. Let's get into it after the intro. Let's go. Go by Drama, the Prophet, aka Mr. Cut the Check. I need y'all to do is hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I can't believe it. This is crazy. It's been almost 30 years, y'all. Almost 30 years. It's been a cold case of Tupac death. It's been speculations going around, you know what I'm saying, about who might have did it, things didn't happen, or who did what. But now we find out who actually did it. That's crazy. That is crazy. But let's check out this news clip by CBS. We're going to check it out and see what they talking about in this. Let's get into this.
Las Vegas police have arrested a man connected to the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. A grand jury indicted Dwayne Davis on one count of murder with a deadly weapon. Davis is one of the last witnesses to the drive-by shooting that killed Shakur. He is believed to have ordered the death of the rapper, according to prosecutors. Let's bring in Lena.
Wow, hold on. I'm sitting here thinking, right? This guy, what's his name again?
According to prosecutors, Shakur. Last witnesses to the drive-by shooting that killed Shakur. One count of murder with a deadly weapon. Davis is one of the last witnesses to the drive-by shooting that killed Shakur.
Familiar.
He is believed to have ordered the death of the rapper, according to prosecutors. Let's bring in Lena Noziwe. She's a journalist who's been following the investigation on her podcast. Tupac's murder was his case. So what can you tell us about Dwayne Davis and his relationship with the rapper?
Well, one thing is both Keefe, also that's really what he was known on the streets, and Orlando Anderson.
Keefe.
They were there.
Okay.
The night Biggie died, and nobody ever has denied that. And the night that Tupac was killed as well. So their names have been, from the very first time I did the story in 2007, their names have been part of the case. I said them in my stories from the beginning.
Did you always have a sense that it was Davis? Was that kind of your instinct based on the evidence in your reporting?
Yo, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same guy. He was on like a podcast or something talking about the murder. I'm trying to think. It's going to come to me. I'm trying to think. I'm going to look it up while we watching this. I got it.
Well, it was more that you knew Orlando Anderson was involved, his nephew. So that's what, and the two men were, as I said, together at two of the deadliest nights in rap.
Yeah. So it's been decades. What was the significant breakthrough for law enforcement?
Well, it's a very good question because in my podcast, I interview one of the original investigators. And he told me that when he was investigating the case some 30 years ago, he put together a floppy disk in which he came to conclusions on who killed Tupac. And the names are the same names that we're hearing, Keefe and Orlando Anderson, almost 30 years later.
That's crazy,
the
young, for real.
question is, and it was brought up during the news conference today, why now? Why is there an arrest now? It's because there's corroboration.
They got a lot of evidence. That's why
the investigators just
they have a lot of evidence now at this point. It's crazy. Like cops, let me tell you, the cops do not sleep on nothing. You understand? We might think that they sleeping. You feel me? Because we be like, loved ones just passed away, stuff like that. But they don't. So when somebody want to snitch, they ready for it. You feel me? They ready for it. They ready for the action. But it's crazy. Yo, 1996 he passed away. We in 2023. 27 years later, we're just now finding out who did it. And I just looked it up. The guy, Keefe D. I guess he did an interview on Vlad talking about this. You know what I'm saying? 4 years ago, I think it was saying. 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 4 years ago, it was saying. I definitely want to check that video out. I do remember his name coming up a while ago. I remember his name coming up. But it's crazy, yo. 27 years we're now finding out. Like, this is nuts.
Who did it? But now they were able to get some corroboration.
And what was the corroboration?
Well, that remains to be seen. They went in with a search warrant and they looked around. They looked at Keefe D's computer. He had written a book confessing to the murder or being involved with Tupac's murder.
Now he wrote a book, bro. I'm done. And he ain't get caught all this time. He must have just came out with that book like this year. You feel me? And they must have read the book and was like, oh yeah, we got him, y'all. He must have did that book this year. Now, if he did that, listen, if he did that book years ago, 4, 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, somebody need their ass whipped. Somebody need to get fired right now. But you know what? I think they can't even really use it. It got to be more stuff to it. But if you got somebody saying in a book or whatever and they talking about it, yo, I did or whatever the case might be, yeah, bro. It was you. It was you. Yeah. We all know because you definitely saying that you did that. You feel me? Yo, this is nuts. I can't believe this.
And
like,
so
for real. Now he wrote a book.
There was something found on his computer, the files, perhaps an earlier edition of his book, but that's information that we don't know. It's not been public yet, but they did say today that they found corroboration.
Lena Noziwe, we'll have to have you back when we find out.
Yo, what is she in a robe, bro? Like she came to the she in the interview with the robe on, bro.
More about that corroboration, and thank you for your.
I'm just now noticing this.
First-hand accounting of this murder for decades.
She was late for the interview. She didn't know. She didn't know that the interview was going on. She thought it was tomorrow. You feel me? But it was right now. They called her and she was like, "Oh snap, me and my hair together." She did this right here. You feel me? Threw the robe on. She was like, "This look presentable, and we're gonna keep it moving." You feel me? We're gonna keep it moving. That's crazy. But man, I'm happy that Tupac family is able to get some type of closure from this. You know what I'm saying? Because this been 27. Listen, 27 years, y'all, is a long time. Yeah. That's a long time. Definitely a long time. So I'm happy they got him. Happy they got him. And you wrote a book. You self-snitched on yourself. We're going to put it like that. You definitely self-snitched on yourself. A lot of these people that's like, into that life, really about that life, right? A lot of them do be self-snitching on themselves. You see it in the videos. You see it. People getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like Bobby Smurda, one, he got locked up. Like a whole bunch of people, especially when it comes to these rappers. Like none of these guys, man, like they don't know how to shut up. Like, all right, yeah, I did my dirt. But let everybody know what I did. You feel me? It's nuts. It's nuts. All right, listen, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.